First is the roadmap roundup. This has come out much earlier than normal. Usually we're hitting this at the end of the stream, but today, my friends, we're diving right into it. So let's see what's going on with the roadmap. 4.1.1 is about to come out, so there's not really going to be any movement here, I imagine. Maybe some progress tracker stuff, maybe something that's confirmed here and there, but I don't think this is going to be too juicy. Every 2 weeks, we accompany the roadmap update with a brief explanatory note to give you insight into the decision-making that led to any changes on said roadmap. This is part of an effort to make our communication more transparent, more specific, and more insightful for you all. For all of you who helped make Star Citizen and Squadron 42 possible. Okay, just a reminder, the 1.0 column showcases features and content planned for inclusion in or before Star Citizen 1.0. That was very confusing to people in the beginning. Notable changes. All right, 4.1, we've got missions, local site maintenance. What is this? Implementing new missions into the persistent universe, first appearing in Pyro's outposts. Players will be tasked with going to the location and fixing equipment with fuses and repairing RMC pipes with your multi-tool. This card has been set to committed. Is it though? Is it actually going to be in the game? I feel like we've had so many false starts with this one, but salting this out of the way, I'm so excited for these. This is like the first step into actually doing something not really focused on. I mean, we have mining and salvage and cargo, but this is like our first, I guess more engineering kind of. It feels like the first thing that's actually taking advantage of the resource network in some way. Like, I know that we have the power management on ships, but changing out fuses and relays and actually making a difference, and to some extent repairing small pieces of stuff, feels like finally another step into a new category of gameplay for Star Citizen. And this first implementation is not really going to be much, just like the first implementation of cargo. Well, yeah. So it's going to be some time before this becomes like a significant thing in the game, I imagine. Definitely, once this comes to Stanton, it'll be a bigger deal. But getting it into the game finally is nice, and having them be localized missions is a real big deal. Local site maintenance is good because now you're going to go to an outpost. Now we could just tell newcomers, hey, you want something to do? Just go to an outpost. Maybe you'll meet an NPC, you'll find some loot, you might fall through the ground, but you also might find some local maintenance missions that are not in any way dangerous, which will be nice. Next thing, missions. Enabling animal population control missions. This card has been set to committed. We already knew about that, right? I mean, we've had animal population control missions through that wilderness company. Maybe these are more applied, a little bit different. I do not know. But okay, these have been set to committed as well. Another mission added, Hunt the Polaris, adding a new Fleet Week mission. So this is specific to Fleet Week. A Polaris has been stolen by the frontier fighters, and the CDF are tasked by the UEE Navy to hunt it through the Stanton system, isolate it, and kill it. The mission will be offered rarely, can be shared, and will only have one active at a time. Once complete, a temporary stand-in reward will be given. Okay, so this is a global event. Interesting, they're not even trying to call these global events anymore. I mean, yeah, I agree they should have ditched the whole dynamic event name, but I think this would have been called a global event previously. Because it is a mission that spawns for everybody, only during a certain time, and is only active once at a time. That's basically how, Siege of Orison worked? I mean, it's kind of how Xenothreat worked, right? You would take a mission for Xenothreat. So I guess they're not really putting as much emphasis on that, the difference of it. Sounds like a fun time. It generally sounds like a test environment. Like, when it comes to the gameplay of group combat and large-scale combat and working together with other players, especially with this weird change that they made where names don't pop up anymore before you scan a ship. It's just, this is just going to be like a party of combat. I don't think they're in a position to really get much testing out of the Polaris in capital scale ship. I mean, there's something to get out of it, right? any fighting is some fighting, but I'm kind of working on a video that maybe pours a little cold water on the Idris rumors floating around, because I don't, not in the sense that it won't happen, just in the sense that I'm not really that interested in it. It's not that exciting to me. And that in some part is due to what I think has been a lackadaisical release of the Polaris since it's come out. They have not really taken advantage of the Polaris being out and the possibilities of engineering to make capital ship gameplay that interesting. So I'm kind of like, I'm in the boat of, I mean, the Idris could come out for Invictus Week. Cool. The Idris is out. Okay. Now we're doing the same thing with the Idris that we were doing once a month every year for the last 3 years when people would steal it. We're not really doing much else because there's not missions made for it. Maybe those red alert pyro missions, but the gameplay hasn't moved to keep up with a release of an Idris at this point. And so I'm gonna make a video to talk about it. But yeah, here's the new event, Hunt the Polaris. That should be interesting to watch go down. We'll definitely do that as an org. All right, what else do we got? We got new hairstyles. You trying to hit me with that nice hair? Wave your hair back and forth, dude. Hell yeah. Adding 4 additional hairstyles with 4.1.1. Not a big deal, but you know, they add up over time. The Volt SMG Quartz, a compact yet devastating firearm designed for those who need firepower in a minimal frame. It looks like they took away the aspect of this splitting into 2 beams as you fire it. As far as I can tell, we used this, what was it, last week? We were doing some looting and some exploring. Listen, this is the Quartz. Now, this thing was supposed to have a firing method where you would fire it and kind of like the Parallax starts firing in a beam when it goes for a while. This one is meant to fire in 2 beams when it goes for a while, as opposed to 1. I think they may have simplified it though and taken that out. Honestly, I'm not mad about it. This is a fun gun to use in its default firing method. It's just a beam weapon. I feel like a ghost buster, and these gangsters are my ghosts. And it's a lot of fun. Oh. It's a lot of fun to use. I think it looks freaking fantastic, from the firing effects, the lightning arc, the spinning bits on the gun. Like, this gives me some Resistance Fall of Man vibes a little bit. I mean, honestly, it's not even just Resistance. It's, what's their name? Holy crap. I'm gonna feel like an idiot when I figure out their name here. Insomniac. Oh, painful. Insomniac Games. Feels like the kind of weapon that I could see coming from them, and I'm here for it. So we'll test this out even more. I've only gotten 1 chance to use it. You see here in this video, you're basically seeing all of my experience. But I look forward to trying it out some more. I also think these act as great weapons that I would want in like special scenarios, but I'm not going to use regularly. I think I'm still going to stick to ballistics, believe it or not. Continuing on, we've got a components balance pass, balancing ship components and shield generators based on their class types. This card has been set to committed. Okay, this is that's good to see. I'll say that much. I wasn't expecting a component balance pass. They haven't talked really anything about balancing these things out, but we know that they are working on engineering behind the scenes, and they're still continuing to work through getting all those components up to date. I actually think the AI blades, the flight blades that they're introducing, are just part of the computer component getting worked on, and that stuff getting finalized. It's good to see that they're working on components and shield generators. I look forward to seeing how that goes. We got Wikelo special ships in 4.1.1 as well, adding the following special ships to Wikelo's Emporium. That is the Misk Starlancer Max, the Aegis Saber Firebird, Aegis Saber Peregrine, RSI Zeus ES, RSI Zeus CL, Crusader Intrepid with top grade components. These ships can be unlocked by bringing the NPC Wikelo a number of favors in exchange of rewards. This is escalating. Now, this isn't super high work content. They're just putting nice components into ships we already have and maybe slapping a special paint on it. But this is an alternative way of getting these ships than spending money. And I don't mean real world money. I mean making UEC. This is like we're starting to get parallel progression through the game. And this isn't even including reputation, really. Wikelo's not related to reputation. So we are seeing the ability to earn things through buying through UEC, and now through earning scripts or favors through doing other things. Soon, I'm hoping, we're going to start to see the ability to unlock special shops with certain factions. And this is really actually starting to expand into something people can progress to stuff. Now we just need them to stop wiping things. And we need a way to, know the actual stats of all these things in-game. Holy crap, yes. That's... no kidding, man. Both when we're purchasing them and when we're looking at them. Alright, retroactively, they are adding to 4.1 Wikelo's special version of the Antium armor. I guess they just forgot to put that in there. Item recovery T0, that didn't, I guess that came in kind of later. Adding item recovery T0, allowing players to respawn with the gear they had equipped at the time of death. Collision physics update, updating ship collision damage handling. With full collision data passed down by physics, this means that mass and speed is now calculated in the collision to make the damage more realistic. Does that mean my soda cans will stop blowing up spaceships? Favors are pretty hard to source when you don't hang in a large group, but you can earn scripts. You can just keep running these missions. Hold on, did they kick us? They kicked us. There are missions now where you can just earn scripts and pile those up doing solo focused stuff, and those are your favors. Heavy Fighter Archetype Balance Pass, balancing heavy fighters' joint health, thruster power, and max speed. Grenade Launcher Balance Pass, you know about that. Balancing the grenade launcher's damage output and handling to reward aiming rather than spamming. Ship and Vehicles Update, updating the Caterpillar's side elevators to improve its cargo management. Removing the 300i cargo railing to allow for better cargo gameplay, I didn't know that one. And greatly increasing the SRV fuel storage. Further Hornet and Starlancer max flight mass changes. Okay. Ship turret updates, updating the Reclaimer, Carrack, Valkyrie, Raft, and Starlifter to have several of their turrets linked to the main pilot's weapons. Wikelo special ships that were added in 4.1. Those already include the Anvil Lightning Sneak, the Anvil Lightning War, the Polaris, Scorpius, Constellation, Taurus, Guardian, Spirit, all with top grade components. So there's your update. Now the progress tracker, let's see, made a few additions to the progress tracker, which you can review below. Just a reminder, when progress on a deliverable is marked as complete, it doesn't necessarily mean it's ready for release. It may still require downstream support, transition to another team for further work, or other additional steps. So the progress tracker shouldn't be used as understanding dates and times, more so just intent of work being done. That being said, it looks like they have added a new sandbox activity and a new sandbox location to the progress tracker. Radiation gameplay is a feature addition, so that's good to see. Redacted vehicle and redacted creature. We've actually seen a creature recently. Now we know they're working on quite a few, but we've seen some like weird balls on the face cow looking thing, alien creature, four-legged. Maybe that's this, maybe it's something else. Redacted vehicle could be so many different things. I'm not even going to try and guess that. Radiation gameplay is good to see. That's good to know is being added. Let me give you a look at what radiation gameplay is. It works very well with their maintenance stuff, so I'm guessing that's where we're going to see it fit in. It's probably going to be when we're repairing things that are damaged. It might also be from components. They have two different types of radiation. They have latent radiation, which is basically just like in the space. And then they have, I think, directed radiation, which you could get from being much closer to an object.
Okay, radiation, right. So radiation, for that, it's a new addition to this active status system. And we need to look at the bottom left here. So in the middle, you got the amount of radiation that being pushed on your body. If you have a directional source, it's based on your body surface and your distance to that source. So by going behind the cover here, I can completely cut off all the radiation. So I can use that. And then on the left, we have an icon that has a shield around it. Now, that shield works in two ways. Right? First of all, it comes from your outfit. So depending on what you're wearing, you're going to have a better or less accurate shield.
They could definitely introduce an armor set with this that has special radiation protection, but I don't think they will. That would be cool.
Right. It has a threshold. As long as your radiation doesn't exceed the threshold, the shield will hold true. It'll scrub all the radiation off, and you can stay there as long as you like. But as the shield starts peeling off, when the radiation gets higher, the shield will peel off. And the radiation sickness kicks in right at the end of the video here. And my health just deteriorates super, super quick. So yeah, that's not great. Okay, so we're gonna see some more radiation in the next section. So I would like to welcome Inesh up on the stage. Thank you very much, everyone.
And so they just showed, I think there was like a small repair mission they did. I don't even think that was in this demo, but that just gives you an idea of like radiation gameplay. Actually is a fairly big addition because it's going to apply to really any objects they want to load with rads in the environment. It's going to apply to things like Pyro Star with the pulses that it sends out. Part of the reason that's been delayed, I think, is because they haven't had radiation. It's going to be applied to when your ship gets damaged and you have damaged components and you need to go repair those components. As an engineer, you might want to wear armor that protects you more from radiation because you might be exposed to it. So as far as survival gameplay goes, engineering gameplay goes, and just in general survivalism, I said survival. Those two things really, I think this is actually a pretty big addition, but who knows when it's coming because the progress tracker doesn't tell us. The other two things, the sandbox activity and location, I would just look at these and imagine what you got from Hathor and Wikelo. They are not just content that creates progress and things to do. They're also things that can be added on over time. We can see that they're already adding more stuff onto what Wikelo provides. They will probably bring in a couple new mission givers, maybe one or two. And they might not be combat focused. I know Hathor was very combat focused. These might offer something different, maybe space stations, asteroid bases, something else that can be explored. We won't know for quite some time, but this overall, there was more on this roadmap update than I thought going into it. There would be. And in general, the 4.1 branch of updates so far has proven to be quite fruitful. We've seen the new sandworms come in, new hairstyles worked on, new armor, a new mission giver, the collision physics update, item recovery. I won't really count that as a addition. I guess that makes a big difference to some people, actually. Item recovery has made a lot more people excited about playing this game in the way they want. So I won't pass over that one. The mining updates have been freaking huge. Oh my gosh, the mining pod's actually working is fantastic. There's still work to be done on that, but that's the kind of thing that we've been waiting such a long time for. Great to see. Obviously the Hathor locations, the turret updates, for some people that does matter. Wikelo was a good one, a good addition. Local site maintenance finally. I still don't understand. I feel like we've already had this, but I'm not seeing anybody in chat correct that. So maybe it was like, maybe they've just expanded them. I don't really know why this is on here. Yeah, Bone was repairing something on Crusader. There was radiation. Yep. The little pipes. We're getting these space combat missions, which we're about to go do here in this stream. These are supposedly adding 60 plus new mission possibilities. We'll be looking at that on Friday after Inside Star Citizen comes out. That also includes the ambush missions and the training missions. So yeah, between the UEE training missions, the space combat ambush missions, the patrol missions, hunt the Polaris, animal population control, and local site maintenance, there are 60 plus new missions. And you know what? That makes sense. Like if you look at all these, if you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of each of these, that's 60 missions. That's fair. And then we've got our ships. You got the Golem, the first real starter ship for miners, like industrial miners. The Argo Atlas Geo, which is a pretty freaking cool addition to mining, not gonna lie. The Oh yeah, there's some balance passes going on, which is nice. This and the component balance pass is pretty good. Ships and vehicles updates. So the Caterpillar got its update. Apparently 300 I got to get an update. And then Wikelo ships. We got a couple of weapons through the quartz and the parallax rifle. And the components pass I already went over. So it's a pretty large update. As far as features go, still not feature focused. We're still missing out on actually progressing in terms of what this game can do. But at the same time, the content that they are adding is progression. It is quality of life. It's playability. It is variety in what you can do. So I can't fault them for that. I do think that we need to see the EPTU this quarter, like something about that. I think that we could maybe hear some news about progress on the quantum travel update, on engineering, on control surfaces. And I do think that we are going to hear about at least a couple of those things during the Invictus Week Star Citizen Live, but I don't think it's going to be as much as we would want. Hey, it's another year of Star Citizen, right? Ups and downs, positives and minuses, but I do think that 4.1 is turning into a good branch of updates, and I hope they keep this momentum up.